yesterday when he was sworn in, just expressing his feelings of being overwhelmed with gratitude, and I feel exactly the same way. In between time, between an election and a new administration is really hard. You don't see it on the outside because the staff, everyone is doing a really good job. But these folks and other staff at the county all stepped up and really worked double duty these last months. I mean, I saw it, and I'm so grateful for what they have done. And they've done it completely out of a sense of personal responsibility and commitment to public service. And I'm so grateful that I am inheriting this great team. So you might be wondering why we are all here in a community theater and not in the more august and stately county courthouse where these events are typically held. I wanted to be sworn in here in part because Rosendale is where my amazing husband John and I have raised our 3 children, Gideon, Jasper, and Silas. And it is where I began in public service 16 years ago on the Environmental Commission for the town. But I also wanted to have this ceremony here because of what the Rosendale Theater represents to me. And that's the strength of community. About 14 years ago, the family that owned this theater, the Cascio family, and Michael Cascio is here somewhere, just out here. Thank you for being here. The Cascio family made the really difficult decision to sell the building after running it as a movie theater for 60 years. The Rosendale Theater had long been an anchor on Main Street, both economically and socially. It was a beloved community institution, entertainment spot, where you could still get popcorn for $1. Community members were determined not to let it go. I was in those early meetings just across the street at Amy Trumpeter's. They were open to anyone who wanted to pitch in the time and the energy to save the theater. The Rosendale Theater Collective was born out of those meetings, and some 60 potlucks, music benefits, and other fundraisers later purchased the theater, and it has run mainly on volunteer power ever since. About 100 volunteers. It not only continues to anchor the downtown business district, it also anchors the community in important ways, supporting local causes and lifting all voices, including those typically not given the stage. Running the theater has not been easy. Like so many local businesses, the theater had to close during the pandemic for 18 long months, but the theater made it through. And in fact took the opportunity to make some important renovations to the building, again, with a lot of volunteer power. I tell this story because it demonstrates so well what a community can do when it pulls together. I believe that there is no end to what we can accomplish if we work together. Community makes possible the improbable and enables us to weather challenges and storms no matter how great. We face some very daunting challenges: a climate crisis, a housing affordability crisis, mental health and addiction crises, and we have way too many households who are struggling to pay the bills month to month. But every crisis creates an opportunity for positive change and creative solutions that wouldn't otherwise see the light of day. And I believe we are in that moment. As I said during the campaign a lot, we all have the building blocks right here in Ulster County to create a sustainable, resilient, thriving local community and economy that leaves no one behind. I believe deeply if we work together, we can get there. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's not going to happen overnight, but we're going to get there. I'm grateful to come into this office with such great partners. I'm truly blessed. This includes my partners in the county government, our legislators on both sides of the aisle, our county sheriff, Juan Figueroa, a name I've said 1,000 times, but for some reason can't say today. County Comptroller, Marge Gallagher, DA David Clegg, County Clerk Nina Postpak, longtime county clerk, and the Commission's directors and staff of the 26 county departments that serve so many vital functions in our communities. And a number, as Joanna pointed out, a number of you are here today, as well as members of staff of those departments, and I want to thank you for your continued public service and dedication. Other critical partners are local governments, showing my roots, our elected representatives and staff of the City of Kingston, and the 23 unique villages and towns that make up this incredibly beautiful county of ours. And then there are all of the community partners, our friends in labor, and I know you're in the house, local businesses, our family farms, schools and educational institutions, including K-12, BOCES, SUNY Ulster, and SUNY New Paltz, our nonprofits, our healthcare providers and workers, churches and synagogues, first responders, concerned citizens, and everyday volunteers. You are the threads that hold in the fabric of our community together. You really are. And you're critical partners in addressing every challenge that we face. I'm deeply humbled and grateful for this opportunity to serve as your county executive. There is no end to what we can accomplish if we work together. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And I share the sentiment of our Lieutenant Governor. I really do love you all. And let's get to work.